knows how to get to her heart.
For sure.
Knows how to open her heart.
Got it.
And knows how to get it back for her to go take over the world. A lot of things were popular in 1980.
Actually, who's the guy from Wind Talkers? Are you the devil?
Maybe. I've known you for like 9 months.
I've known you for like 9 months. Remember that cookie I gave you?
No. I'm a mechanic.
Like, and what's under those sheets? Send her to do stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff.
Hey everyone, welcome to Legion of Comic Correction. This is the first time when Greg... you alright? You alright from that hit? You okay?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
Okay. This is the first time where Greg and I are back together in one place. Come on, man. Get it together. We are so glad to be able to be in the same place doing this together. As always, remember, we are the show that dives into different iterations of comic book classics, comic book movies. We talk about TV shows, renegade comic book runs, and video games, and we look at how they failed their source material, how they failed the amazing characters that we've grown to know and love over the years. That is why we are here, and that is why we hope you are here with us also. Greg?
All right, guys, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell at the bottom to make sure you get those notifications of when our new videos come out, and let's jump in to our offender of the day.
So that's it? What, we some kind of suicide squad?
I'll notify your next of kin.
I am Greg, and man, I did my internship at Belle Reve making copies for none other than Task Force X.
Hey everybody, I'm Logan, and I was actually the original leader of Task Force X before Rick Flagg came in and stole my role because he's got a calmer demeanor.
I believe it.
We start by looking at the money. Now, today's offender is a little bit different than anybody we've covered in the past. They actually made quite a bit of money, but it's not always all about the money. So the budget for Suicide Squad was $175 million. It made just over $746 million. That is a substantial amount of gross on this film. Our casting. We had an amazing cast again. And there's a theme developing here. If you haven't looked at our Justice League video, go there and take a look at this. But there is amazing casting in WBDC films. We have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Will Smith as Deadshot. Viola Davis is the absolute perfect Amanda Waller. And Jared Leto, right off of his Oscar win, playing an amazing iteration of the Joker. But we have another cast being wasted because of poor writing and poor development, poor production that has no theme to or idea of where they are going.
They drop the ball every single time. Sometimes other things, other than just the money, make movies fail, especially for comic book fans. So for us, we got our popular reception here on Rotten Tomatoes. They had a 27%, 372 critics. And then on Metacritic, they gave it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10, which we've talked about gracious before. That is way too gracious. Way too gracious.
This is off of 3,482 votes.
Yeah, 3,482.
And it ended up with a 6 out of 10. I don't know how.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so when it comes to future losses for the company, we did get that spin-off for the Harley Quinn movie, though with all the situations going on in the world, we don't have a really accurate idea of what that reception of the film actually is. And then the new Suicide Squad movie coming out, it's not a sequel. It's been said it's a complete reboot, with most of the main cast being recast with other people and with a new director in its place.
I saw that Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah? Was it good?
No.
I didn't think so. All right, so next, guys, we always take a look at the source material that the directors and the writers get inspiration from for these movies. Today, we're looking at two main source materials here for Suicide Squad. The first one being the original run from 1987 to 1992. That was written by John Ostrander and Luke McDonnell. They got the idea from the film, the inspiration from the film Dirty Dozen, to get this idea of these villains coming in to do something good for a change, to kind of help with their sentence. Again, this comic source material was really just used in name only. Mm-hmm. They really didn't go into the actual storylines to get any inspiration. It was just the concept, so we're giving credit where credit is due.
Yeah, where this movie really draws its source material from is the Suicide Squad in the New 52, so from 2011 to 2014. It's the same premise as the original, but the characters that are actually a part of the Suicide Squad are the ones found in the New 52. We also see the iterations of the Joker from that Jared Leto plays from this New 52 and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn from this New 52. Two very different iterations of those characters than ever previously seen, which is awesome, but because of this poor reception, we may never see them again.
Again, another example of DC Comics just taking really good source material and completely dropping the ball on it.
Right now, we're going to jump into correcting the Suicide Squad. Hopefully our own heads don't explode.
Here's hoping.
So, this is the immediate first thing that kills me. All right. So These villains are some of the best villains in DC Universe. So their entire introduction and backstory is covered in a matter of minutes. So we're expected to just invest in these characters immediately with barely any information on them. Yeah. And like some of them don't even get the decency of being introduced as a part of this montage. Deadshot? Important.
Yep, he's making it.
Slipknot? He dead.
They don't even say his name until they bring him in later and say he can climb stuff.
Like we're expected to completely know and emotionally invest in these characters from just these scenes.
Well, now here's the problem is that this movie, and we're going to see as we go through, it is plagued with flashback footage. So it does a lot of flashbacks, a lot of exposition, when really what we should be having is moments that move the story along where we get to know the characters and get to be invested in them. The reason why it feels so detached is because it's either a flashback with cut-up dialogue or a flashback with poorly written Viola Davis narration.
So here we go.
Here we go. All right,
two treated villains. Yep. Okay? Captain Boomerang is about to get maybe a minute of introduction here. Diablo, what an incredibly super metahuman. Yeah. We are covered in 30 seconds. Killer Croc, we don't even get to see him in action.
Nope, we just see him in a sewer.
They already have him captured. He was just chased out of Gotham by the Bat. Plus, who is still on the street?
Plus, we see now 3 of the Suicide Squad members have now been beaten by Batman. Why don't you just ask Batman to help? And Batman's a good guy. Like, you can trust him. So bring him in.
Right.
Also, worst archaeologist in the world.
Terrible.
She just broke the art. She's like, oh, here's an artifact. Let me twist its head off and break it.
Does she even have a brush? Like, does she even have a brush on her?
No, she's like, oh, look, ancient artifact.
Oh, my gosh. Like, and here's the thing about Enchantress. Incredibly complex story.
Yep.
Long story short, Amanda Waller's trying to control an uncontrollable metahuman with the heart that she found. I don't even need to see other parts of what's going to happen in this movie. Come on!
These people she's meeting with, they should just put her in Belle Reve. Like, she's as insane as all the people that are in there. And I know
they can't even put her in Belle Reve.
Yeah.
They can't even put her in Belle Reve because they can't control her. What they should do is just stab the heart and be over with it.
No, I'm saying put Amanda Waller in Belle Reve. She's the crazy one. That she thinks
and then
Rick Flagg, man.
Rick Flagg. They did no backstory on Rick Flagg.
No, he went to West Point.
Oh, that's right. It's part of the things that you had to read in the 1 second they flashed it on the screen.
Right, he had a long list.
How does he fall for this woman? She is a demon. She is just a demon.
Yeah, but she's also a really bad archaeologist. I love this scene.
I think it's a great scene.
When Deadshot gets all the guns.
I think it's a great scene.
I think it's just so funny.
It's like Barinholtz, man. Like Barinholtz. Like Barinholtz. And just the quick line of like, if he shoots me, I want you to shoot him.
And I want you to clear my browser history. Yep. And Will Smith is just his genuine response of like, you guys are crazy. Like, this is loaded. Like, I just think it's super believable. There are a few moments in this movie that actually have, like, it's a very small percentage, but have good character beats.
Right.
And this is one of them.
Right. This is 100% just like, one of them.
I love it. It baffles me how there are scenes like this where they can write their characters so perfectly in line with their comic book iterations. And then there are scenes where they just completely ruin and make decisions that are completely outside of that character.
Yeah. So we're 45 minutes into this movie. Yep. And this is the first time that the Suicide Squad is together.
I love how it looks like they mailed Captain Boomerang.
They
mailed him from Australia. He came in a mail bag.
Yep.
I love that. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
Who's this guy?
He's the dude that climbs things.
No backstory. This dude.
Oh yeah. By the way, you got this dude. He can climb stuff.
Thank you for showing up. You're dead.
All right. Speaking of random characters just being thrown in here.
Oh,
Katana.
God.
Like Katana's an awesome character, and she does a fine job. I mean, she doesn't really get to do much in this movie, but it's just like randomly she walks up and Rick Flagg's like, "Oh, by the way, here's a chick with a sword that can steal your soul." She's pretty cool.
And the other thing is, it's not like her backstory or her powers are complicated to explain in any way, shape, or form. Are you kidding me? She has a super complicated explanation for her powers, why her sword does that, all that stuff.
There is an inordinate amount of walking in this movie with nothing happening.
Caught that, yeah.
Nothing. Like, they just walk along the streets.
And they're not doing anything.
We had terrible dialogue.
They are literally just talking spit. Just do it like whatever.
Yeah. So much walking.
All of these guys, they are ready to roll on Rick Flag, on Katana, on all of them. They're ready to take them out. And then it's Deadshot who's like, hold on. Why would anybody be listening to him? Harley Quinn, we've established, straight up lunatic.
Doesn't care.
Why would she not be just jumping on this opportunity? Just storyline-wise, it makes no sense. First, they're ready to roll and do anything, and now they're waiting on Deadshot, who's their heir apparent leader. It's like, what?
It's about an hour into the movie, and this is the first conflict we see the Suicide Squad interacting in. So we've talked about slow-moving movies before. We've talked about building story at a bad pace. This is a bad pace.
Right.
They've done a whole bunch of flashbacks and disjointed storytelling for an hour.
Right.
About half of the movie before we actually see the team come together and do anything.
2 of their team are already out. So this is the moment. So Harley's nanite is disarmed.
Right.
So she can walk down there. Waller orders Flagg to kill her.
Right.
She is 5 feet away from him.
Yep,
She's right there.
Oh, the
could
button's
have
not
killed her.
working.
The button's not working. What, did your gun stop working? Are the bullets all blanks in it?
And she's there forever.
She is right there. This is ridiculous.
And even worse than that is here we now see just a ruining of Deadshot's character. So she offers him, she says, your freedom and your daughter's safety.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Deadshot responds as Deadshot should. He says, she's
dead.
Right? And he goes to go shoot her.
She's dead.
And now she should be dead. There's nothing. Way.
They met hours ago.
Yep.
There is no further backstory for these two than what you've seen on the screen. Deadshot has a contract. Deadshot's going to take that contract and do it and clear himself out of there, get his daughter back, all of that. That is ridiculous.
Yep.
Harley's bomb, her nanite in her neck, is deactivated.
Yes.
There is no way she is coming back to this group.
Nope.
Again, that she met hours ago. And everybody here feels some sort of like emotional, even though it's not, you clearly can see they're all like, relieved. Relieved is the word. Yeah. They're relieved she's okay.
They don't care.
They hated her.
This is another example of when they actually hit good character beats.
Right.
This whole bar scene where they're
Right.
like connecting, this should have happened at the beginning.
When
When they first got together, because this is actually them building themselves as a team, and you
Right.
actually start to care a little bit about what they're talking about.
And they start to care about each other. So,
Yeah.
like, the Suicide Squad should have been put through, like, some sort of military training.
Right.
Where they had to use their skills together to be able to do things. And then they got, like, a break. And that respite was their time to be able to, like, build some backstory, get to know each other. And they did none of that. It was just like,
Throw them in.
in.
Yep. Yeah. And there's a time in movies and storytelling for like that baptism by fire feeling. There's a time for that.
Right.
But they did it at the sacrifice of character development. And
Yeah.
you can't do that. You can't do
Yeah.
you're just gonna have a train wreck after that.
Mm-hmm. Now instead we get the backstory for Diablo. It would have been fine for us to know nothing about him. Like, and he's the quiet one of the group. We get no, like, information about. He then shares more about himself in this type of setting.
Right.
An hour ago.
Yep. So that when we go into the conflict, we know, okay, here's where he stands.
Right.
And here's his connection to the group.
Right.
And then it would make more sense when we actually get to the end bit of the movie. Because in all reality, the character arc of shutting down and not wanting to use his powers,
Right.
and then coming to the point of I'm not losing another family, that's a great character arc.
Right.
But the problem is you need the arc for it to work, and there was no arc. It went from here to here.
Actual time.
Right.
Jared Leto's performance here is just utterly wasted. He is playing the crime lord Joker from the New 52, and it is absolutely amazing. Parts of this movie are only bearable because you're like waiting for the Joker to come back on the scene, and Jared, like, what sadistic thing is Jared Leto gonna do next?
Well, and that's the problem, though, is that they shouldn't have had him in this movie.
Right.
So they should have either made him a integral part of the movie,
Completely.
or they shouldn't have had him. Because if you take his parts out of the final movie we have, the movie doesn't change. We don't actually need him in the movie.
Right. Either Joker is not in it, or he's integral to the story. This doesn't do either of those things.
No.
It just pisses off Jared Leto, and it makes all of us upset because we only get to see him for 10 minutes.
Man, why can't we get a movie where the Joker's the bad guy?
Right.
Just make him the bad guy.
I could have believed the way that he's able to infiltrate all these different things in this movie to position himself to get Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I could have believed an amazing movie could have been built with him either as the villain, or we get to see him going against Batman at some point. But we're getting nothing.
Nothing. Well, the director, David Ayer, I believe, did come out and state that if he could go back in time, he would make the Joker the villain of this movie. If he could go back and change it, he would have shifted and made the Joker the focus.
It's wasted. All these things are just wasted opportunities. Everything about this movie was created by Waller.
Yeah.
It's all her fault.
Yeah.
Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? We're having trouble controlling our metahuman.
Whoa.
Man.
I thought because she was a bad guy, she was on the good guy's side.
I am utterly shocked that she is trying to do anything against our plans and wishes.
Yeah, isn't she a good guy now because
Oh
we
my
stab her
gosh.
heart with a pen?
This is ridiculous. It's like we already see where this is going.
Yeah.
We already know that this is going to be like this is just going to fall apart at the seams. And yep, guess what? She knows where her brother is because of the briefing that she was a part of. She grabs her brother. Where are we keeping her brother? Where are we keeping?
Here's the best thing. She goes into Amanda Waller's like back room, and there's the top secret binder open, and the brother statue just sitting on her shelf.
Exact page. Statue
sitting there.
right there.
Like, oh, let me get
you know how she possessed. You know how she possessed June.
Right.
You know how it happened.
Right.
And then you just put her brother's statue on a shelf? Are you kidding me?
So
this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So where was the thumbprint lockbox for her brother's statue? Like, you know that inside the statue is the evil demon spirit.
Her brother's statue could have literally been bumped over. We could have had another Enchantress being because of an accident.
She's like, hold on, let me grab my coat.
Yeah, let me-
Oops.
oh!
Oh, no, well,
I've
no.
unleashed.
Let me
a
put this
whole
one in my
cosmic
pocket too.
destruction.
Oh
My
goodness.
gosh. So here's the thing. Enchantress has already turned against the team that has not yet been created. She's turned against the Suicide Squad that she was a part of, or she was pitched as being a part of. Here's the thing. Where Amanda Waller states, what if our next threat, our next super being doesn't share the same values that we share?
Right,
We
like
need to have
Superman.
a team to take them down. Amanda, you created it. You created the other being that you were setting up this team to fight against. And what was this machine?
Well,
Why did she call it a machine? You created a giant lightning storm.
Like lightning portal thing. And then
That's it.
a regular bomb. Again, a regular bomb.
A regular bomb destroyed magic.
Just stopped all the magic.
Twice. The solution was just blow it up.
Just throw a bomb at it.
Right.
Anybody can do that.
All of this, again,
Why
didn't require the Suicide Squad.
Why
like
didn't
we
they
initially are saying, like, oh, over there, this floating stuff, all this stuff, it would require. Actually, it doesn't.
No.
It actually doesn't require them at all. It doesn't require Aquaman. It doesn't require Wonder Woman. It doesn't require the Suicide Squad. It is a waste.
Yeah.
All it requires is just a tactical team with bombs.
Not even a tactical team. Just send a nuke.
That's fair.
Just send a
You could
bomb.
just blow up Midway.
Midway
Blow up Midway.
has been it's obviously
Right.
been evacuated because we walked through empty
Yeah.
streets for like 30 minutes
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
And the only people that are in there are putties and the demon creatures. So just send a bomb, pew, and it's done. You blew them both up with one instead of using two bombs.
Ended it. Ended
One
it.
bomb.
You didn't
Done.
need them.
All right.
So I had to go back because I had to remember what these themes were of this movie and be able to give us a clear verdict on what happened. So we are supposed to emotionally invest in characters that have been completely underdeveloped and are shadows of what they actually are in the comics. It is a joke. We rush along these storylines and relationships, and we're supposed to believe that everybody is going to sacrifice themselves after knowing each other for 5 hours. Do some character development and relationship building, and I may buy into this a little bit more for the Suicide Squad. Or just let our villains be villains. They're bad guys for a reason. You can make it work even without trying to make them some sort of quasi-family situation. You don't need that. It doesn't need to happen. Also, pick a situation where the Suicide Squad is actually needed. Throughout this entire movie, we saw the threat was not actually really a threat. Every single one of those putties was killed by shots to the head, blows to the head, anything like that. And then the two villains were destroyed by bombs. That could have been handled by the military alone, or just sending in a hero, not an entire team of villains. This crew is built to be able to do Black Ops work where you can just disavow them and you don't have to worry about any sort of backlash coming back on you. It doesn't make any sense. Stay true to the characters. Make sure that they are going to do what those characters would do. Deadshot would shoot Harley. There was no doubt. He barely knew her. There's not honor among thieves at this point. That's not a real thing. Have the characters do what they're supposed to do as villains. Also, the threat was created by Amanda. All of this movie was Amanda Waller's fault. So we didn't need to have all this buildup and all this mess. Let's create an actual threat and then send the Suicide Squad in to deal with it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging in with us. Thank you for walking through that train wreck of a movie. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications down below. Also, as always, in the description below, we will have a list of the movies we are looking to correct. So go through that list and vote for your favorite in the comments. Please leave your favorites down there in the comments below. We do read them, we do check them out, and we pick our next video based on what we see. We want to pick the movies that you want to see corrected. We don't want to just pick ours. We want to see what you guys think. So we'll have a few listed down below, but also if you have one that's not listed there, put it in the comments. If we think it's a good one, we'll pick it on for the next time.
That's right.
Be looking out for those comic corrections. Let's bring some justice to our favorite comic creations, and we will see you guys next time.